Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mr. Richard here. Welcome to the mentorship. Today, we're going to talk about credit and everything that it makes up of. And hopefully, you get some value from this. And if you are struggling with credit, or even if you just want some insight on how credit works, hopefully you watch this and gain some more knowledge. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get this process started. All right. So yeah. So let's talk. This is going to start off with 10 lessons, right? Right. Some of this is all going to be familiar because y'all probably seen some of this before. But first lesson, when it comes to credit and money, right? You're not going to be rich working a 9 to 5, right? That shit is not happening. 3% of millionaires work a 9 to 5, right? Doctors, lawyers, architects, um, traveling nurses, all that kind of stuff like that. So you have to try to get out that rat race. It's a little harder than you probably think, but if you have the right guidance, you have the right support system, you can get through it, right? Having money is a learned skill. It's like anything. Learn how to ride a bike, learn how to drive a car, learn how to make a cake, learning how to type. You just got to learn what rich people do to get ahead, right? 9% of rich people inherit their money, right? You think that's a lot higher, but a lot of people don't come from money. A lot of people go out there and earn it, right? 18% high level execs, 31% of people invest in the stock market, 51% of congressmen are millionaires. So whenever you see a congressman and they're on TV talking about the Democrats are lying or the Republicans are lying, all the motherfuckers are lying because all of them making money off that shit either on the table, under the table, or they're already making good money from their previous job. Who knows? I don't care. They ain't my concern, right? I don't trust none of them motherfuckers. 85% of all millionaires are either self-employed or own their own business, right? So when you're driving down the street and you see the shopping center with the Walmart, or you see the shopping center with the Target, or you see the shopping center with the Kohl's, or you see the shopping center with the Publix or the Kroger's, right? There's always little stores there, little sewing shops, little laundromats, little dry cleaners, little subways, little food shops, little Asian restaurants, right? The majority of people who own them shops control their destiny and they make a lot of money from controlling those processes. Once you start looking at businesses and evaluating businesses, you'll start saying, every time I show people how much money business owners make, they'll say, it is this real? And I say, yes, it's real. Why would they lie about it? Right? I don't know, but it is what it is, right? 90%, I think it's like 91% of people who own real estate are millionaires, right? Or are 91% of millionaires own real estate, right? Either they own their primary home or they own some type of investment property, right? Which owning your own property is one of the fastest ways to get financial wealth gaining financial future. You get tax appreciation, you get pay down, you get you're locking in your payment so it can control your budget more, right? And also you get depreciation, all right? And the majority of millionaires are cheap, right? I'm super cheap. You got to have some frugality in your lifestyle and your spending to get ahead in life. Okay. Next thing is we're gonna talk about this kind of talks about what we learned about when it comes to real estate. You have multiple different types of avenues, right? You got single family, multifamily, you got storage unit, you got Airbnb, either arbitrage to own. Arbitrage is when you rent out a place and then you sub rent it out through Airbnb. Then you can do just regular Airbnb when you buy a place and then you rent it out. Okay. And then you have what's called Section 8. Then you have lease option. You have BRRRR method. You got freaking sub two. You got all kind of stuff you can do with real estate, right? That's why people like real estate because you got so many options, right? Stock, play the long game, right? I'm not one of these guys in here talking about, yo, man, I did a shot, I did a pool, I did I went in here and found this, I found that. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. We play the long game, right? Dollar cost averaging. Put $50, $100, $200 into a good stock that's going to be around 10 years from now. You let that shit ride, right? Do it every month consistently until you get ready to retire. And then you take that retirement, that money, and then you live off the interest for the rest of your life. And then you give it to your kids, and then you give the interest, the principal to their kids. And you teach them what you just did. And you talk about generational wealth, which I fucking hate that term, but that's how that shit's created. And then business ownership, right? Own the process. Don't hire, and hire people to do the work, right? First thing I ask people whenever I look at a business or I want to evaluate a business, yo, how many hours am I going to be working this? Well, the current owner's working 40 hours and, hello, Mr. Richard, you there? They call me back. Hey, we got disconnected. No, bitch, we didn't get disconnected. I'm not buying a job. No, thank you, right? Work less, and then you can do more or own more of these processes. You can fast forward that process. You can fast forward that scale. All right, lesson number 2. Credit is king, right? The better your credit is, the lower interest rate you get, the more loans and lines of credit you can get, more negotiating power you can get, right? I was debating with somebody like, this was like a little bit ago. The individual came to me and said, you teach people about credit, but your credit's not perfect. Or they asked me, what was your credit score? And I said, I don't know, 550, 560. And they said, well, your credit's not perfect. Why do you teach people about getting good credit, but your credit's not perfect? And I almost couldn't stop laughing for about first 3 minutes. I said, you don't know shit about credit, right? Your credit is not a trophy, right? You don't get it to an 850 and you put it in a case and you just let it sit there. No, my friend. Your credit is used to leverage to go buy shit that you can't afford, right? And there's only 2 things you can buy in theory. There's things that make you money and there's things that don't make you money, right? So a house, if you rent it out, that credit, which got leveraged to buy you a house, makes you money. A car. Now, if you bought a car using credit, you put it on Turo, you make money. But if you bought your car and you use credit and it sits in your driveway, you're not making no money. You put a vacation on your credit cards, that's not making you money. You go finance a cruise, that's not making you money. You go finance a Macy's card and put some Cool Water cologne and some Gucci loafers and some Tom Ford glasses on there. That's not making you money, right? Your objective of your credit is to leverage it to buy shit without putting all the money down to buy assets that make you money. That is your credit objective. 96% of all financing can be achieved with a credit score of 680 or higher. 99 with a 700 or higher. And I think 100, nobody requires anything over 120. Or sorry, over 720. You have a 720, you can achieve all lines of credit, right? You might have to have some down payment money, but majority of all credit can be obtained with a 720. I have a 750. Well, why ain't your credit perfect? Because I don't need perfect credit. My shit's good enough to get every loan that I need. Point, period, blank. And only time I use my credit is to buy shit that makes me money. I'm not out here trying to finance no fucking cars. I'm not out here trying to take no vacations on no credit. I'm not trying to finance no cruise. Fuck all that. Sorry, auntie, for cussing, right? But I got to put emphasis on the shit, right? In addition to having higher credit limit, whenever you have good credit, you also get lower interest rates. You also get more money. Yes. And then you get more negotiating power. And you get better terms too, which I didn't even put that in there. So why fix your credit or even repair your credit, right? You get access to better interest rates. We all know that, right? And in my funding program, we offer 0% interest if you have a 680 credit score. 0% interest for up to 2 years. You try to go get a line of credit with a 5.25? Yeah, that juice gonna be high as hell. I already know it, right? Which if you have lower interest rates too, or introductory rate, that will save you money in the long run. Also, higher credit score gets you higher approval rates. I don't think I've been denied for credit in probably the last 9 years. Right? Because your good credit score will make you more trustworthy, and the likelihood of approval is good when you have good credit. Okay? Did you know if you have better credit or good credit, it makes your insurance cheaper? Some some insurance companies will um, some insurance companies will whenever you have high credit, they'll give you a discounted rate on your insurance. Some people say to me, Mr. Rich, how much you pay for your insurance? Oh, I pay $180 for 3 vehicles. Damn, that's cheap. Why is your insurance so cheap? What's your credit? 5, they're your problem. Sorry, right? Someone will check your credit. Next one is renting a home, right? Landlords will take consideration. They'll check your credit before you damn go get a house. They'll check your credit, right? Think about it like this. If you own the property and you wanted someone to move in, would you check their credit? More than likely, yes. Job opportunities. Some creditors or some employees are checking credit before you before you get hired at their job. Especially positions of financial responsibility. Let's say you want to work at a bank. Let's say you want to work at a like an accounting firm, or let's say you want anything that working with numbers. They'll check your credit because you think about it. And you know, this is what's crazy too. Whenever you join the United States military or have a government job, they check your credit because let's say your credit is horrible, your finances is horrible, because credit is a direct correlation to finances in theory, right? Because generally, whenever you have bad credit, you generally ain't got no money. And then there's the direct correlation with people with good credit and good money, a decent amount of money. But you know, in theory, right? Not always necessary, but for the most part. So if you have credit issues, more like you are financial worries, right? You have credit card debt. And then let's say if some terrorist or something like that wants to like, oh man, sell me information and I'll fix your credit, or sell me your information, I'll give you money. Or, hey man, your credit's shitty, and you're more likely to steal from somebody if you're down bad or you have financial issues. Statistics just point that way, man. Security deposits, whenever you go and apply for things like renting a place, or sometimes whenever you want to go to rent a car, or you go to get utilities, water, cable, electricity, or get an apartment or something like that, they make you put a down payment down because your credit sucks. I remember about 15 years ago, I went to go get I put an electric bill in my name, and they told me that I had to put $400 there. I had to put that shit in my girlfriend's name because her credit was good. And the bad part about it is I was hoping she would do it, because if she wouldn't have did it, then I didn't have the $400 to give them to put down on the electricity bill. I'd have been eating beanies and weenies in the fucking black in the dark because I didn't have the $400 at the time to do it because my credit sucked. Credit card approval rates. You know that credit cards, if you want to get them, they're not a necessity to life, but they do help out. I'm not an advocate of, I don't love nor hate credit cards. I do wish that everybody would use them responsibly. That don't necessarily happen. But if you're going to use them, at least have the best interest rates you can get. And if you do apply for a line of credit or a credit card, at least get damn approved. And having good credit will do that, right? Negotiation power. A strong credit profile individuals have more leverage and power to negotiate a loan in their favor. Financial flexibility. Improving your credit, greater financial flexibility. You can go out there and get lines of credit for houses. You can go out there and get lines of credit for businesses. You can go out there and get lines of credit for multiplexes or even apartment complexes, right? You can't do that if your credit sucks, right? Or you're gonna have to use somebody else's credit. That's why we always build credit. As soon as I meet individuals, the first question I ask, how's your credit? I don't give a damn who I talk to, because that, like I talk about all the time, if the foundation's off at the bottom, I don't care how much money we stack up. It's going to be rocky, right? You got to get that credit on the handle, right? You got to learn the difference between good credit, bad credit. You got to learn the difference between all your hard inquiries or missing payments, and understand if you're going to take this credit out, you got to use it. You got to use it and be responsible. Building a positive financial future. Repairing credit is an investment for long-term health, paving the way for better opportunity and financial stability. Wow, that word stability again. So here's some examples of things that fixing your credit or repairing your credit or people with good credit don't have to worry about versus people who don't. You want to buy a house, right? I remember when the houses was like, interest rates was like 2.8. Let's just say they're 6.8 now, right? I actually was looking at a house, and the interest rates was about 6.8 for me. Your credit shot or your credit's lower, you're gonna be a damn near mid sevens, a whole point difference, or you're gonna get denied. A home is about a 580 to a 620. Renting an apartment. I have buddies who go rent apartments. They don't have to put anything down or a minimum amount, a couple $100, because their credit's so good. Come on in, man. They know they're gonna get paid because their credit is spotless, right? You don't have good credit, they're gonna damn charge you 3 months deposit, and or they might deny you. All right, so buying a car. Buying a car, interest rates. I don't know if someone want to put it in the chat. If anybody bought a car recently, I don't damn know what car interest rates are nowadays. I don't know. I ain't bought a car so damn long. It's ridiculous, man. But let's just say you bought a interest rate on a car is a 4.5 versus a 5.5 because your credit's not the best, or you get denied. That makes the difference of that's $825. One interest rate point is an extra $800 in interest. 7%? Yeah, so 7% versus 4%. So every point is $800. So individual said they're at 7, and someone else said 4. 1, 2, 3, or sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 3-point difference. 8 times 3, that's $2,400 more for the fucking same car because your credit ain't right. $2,400, you can damn near fix your credit. You know? Credit cards. Some credit cards come 0% interest. Right? I just got approved for a card that was 0% interest for 24 months. 24 months. 2 years. 0% interest. Right? And the highest credit card, and sometimes they're even up to 29% if your credit's shitty. The worst credit card I've ever seen was from Premier Bank MasterCard. It was 37%. I don't know who the hell running around with a 37% credit card. Dude, burn that shit. Every 30 cents you spend, every dollar you spend, you owe 40 cents. Sheesh. You can burn that. There ain't nothing I need to buy that's worth 38% juice. Nothing. Nothing. It better be a damn I need to get a new foot or something. And I ain't got the cash. That's the only way I'm putting it on that bad boy. All right. So I actually get this question a lot. What does FICO, or what is a good score and a bad score? And it's all subjective, but A good score, in my personal opinion, is a score that's good enough for you to get whatever loan you're going for, right? If I need a 580 to get my first home and I have a 600, then that's a good score. If I need a 620 to get an investment property and I got a 635, then that's a good score. If I want to buy a business and the credit score requirement from the SBA is a 680 and I have a 692, then that's a good credit score, right? Don't look at the United States standard or what people tell you believe. If your credit ain't over 800, shut the up. You have no clue what you're talking about, right? Credit is a tool, just like a hammer, just like a damn scissors, just like a damn screwdriver, right? It is there to use to acquire credit. And if the credit you're going for has a amount and you exceed that amount, that's all that's relevant. I didn't say a fucking number. You want credit? It's here. You exceed that number, you're good, right? And if your credit's not at the number you want to exceed, you work on that number and you build it up. And once you're over that number, then your credit is good enough for whatever credit you want to go for. But like I said, 95, 96 of majority of all lines of credit is going to be about a 680. You get a 680, you can comically get the majority of all programs in the nation. High percentage, right? There are some like Mac Daddy credit cards that's out there that be in the, like maybe like the sevens, and those are the only ones you probably won't qualify for. But let's be real, you don't need them shits anyways, right? You're not trying to have a damn $100,000 credit limit. Who cares, right? But here's these according to the FICO model under the Fair Care Act. Here's where your credit rank. So a poor credit score is between 300 and 450. 450 to 580 is still poor. So you can actually get a house with fair credit. 580, you can get financed for a house. And you get financed for a car with fair credit, right? They say that good is a 680. I think anything over 680, you're better than a lot of people, right? That should be almost your goal. That's just my personal opinion, though. You can take this information and go however you want to. They say excellent credit is 800, 850. Man, I've been trying to shoot for 800 for a while. You have to like get a lots of lines of credit and then keep getting credit limit increases and then pay on it, buy stuff and pay on it. I don't got that kind of time, right? I'll take my 760 or 750 and I'm right. I'm good. All right, so here's the makeup of your credit, right? This is the better part of this, right? So if you don't listen or just ain't really been listening, this is the good information, right? The amount you owe and the credit and your payment history makes up 75%, 65% of your credit. My personal opinion, okay? My personal opinion is higher than that. When I do like a credit audit or I review your credit, the first two things I look for: how much you owe, not your debt to income rate, your credit utilization, how much you owe, and payment history, right? Your payment history will, you missed any payments? You have any late payments? You have any charge off, late payments, repossessions, bankruptcies, baby mama payments, uh, tax liens, any of that shit. You have anything on your credit that will reflect negative. The bad part about it is credit history kind of is almost irrelevant. Like they like long years, but it's not going to make or break you. 15%, it should be more like 5%. New credit will drop your credit a couple points, but over the next 2 months, it'll go right back up. About 3 months, it ain't considered new credit no more, so it's gonna go right back up. Something else that's not on here, and credit mix says 10. Something else that I always notice that people credit is hard inquiries. Hard inquiries will make your credit look like dog trash, right? So if y'all focus on those three things, y'all will be pretty good, right? So amount of credit, like not really the amount of debt, not really the amount of credit. I have clients, or I know people who have $190,000 worth of credit cards, and their credit is perfect. But they, if you can have $1,000 worth of credit and have a balance of 900, that means your utilization is at 90%. Your credit's going to go to shit because credit, it really shouldn't be amount owed versus how much limit you got, because $900 is nothing when someone can owe 30,000 on 180,000 and they're at 20% or something. You see what I'm saying? So I tell people that they say keep your balances between 1 to 9%. Fuck that. Below 30%, your score is going to jump. Below 9%, your score is going to be maxed out. You do those numbers, keep it below those numbers, you'll be good. What's kind of crazy is it's almost like you get issued credit and then you get penalized for using it, which doesn't even make any sense. Why give me something if I can't even use it? If I have a $1,000 credit card and I put $300 on it, I'm at my 30%. My credit's gonna drop. What's the point of having something? That's why I always teach, and I'm an advocate of converting your personal credit to business credit, because business credit has no utilization limit. The amount owed doesn't even factor on business credit. You can have, and you get more limits. So you can have $100,000 on your business credit and owe $90,000 and they don't give a damn. Just pay your bills on time. And that's it. Okay, so pay your bills on time, keep your balances low on your personal side, and keep your inquiries low. Anything over 5 and 2 years, it's gonna they consider you risky and they consider that you're desperate for credit. Don't be desperate. But if you want to know how we get business credit, we'll go over that either next week or after this class. Just ask me and we'll go from there. And here is what the majority of people's credit fall into. This is surprisingly better than I thought, even though I don't think this is right. It says the average credit is a 701. I don't know if that's true. They said that 20% of people have over 800, which I don't meet a lot of people in the eights. And I deal with credit all the time, right? But maybe I just deal with people that don't have good credit, right? I don't see a lot of people in the threes, fours, or even fives, really, right? Generally, it's about high fives, low sixes where I see a lot of people, right? But they said that's only 18%. So I don't know, maybe I'm just dealing with the 18%. But I mean, this is where you fall into the American scores according to Experian, which I think this is a little skewed. There are a little biased. Maybe their clientele, just the ones that have the app or something. I don't know. Maybe they're just using everybody's information. I don't know. Right? I don't know. Y'all can comment what y'all think. Y'all think this is a little weird, or y'all think the average person? Because I talked to a lot of people. The average person to me is probably about a 660. That's what I see a lot. 660, 650, 640s. I see them shits all day long. And low sevens, 710, 714. That's what I see a lot. So that leads me to this point right here, right? A lot of people think that, man, I need to get credit repair or I need to hire a professional. If you know what you're looking for, you really don't. But if you do need to hire somebody to do it, I do offer that service, right? I wouldn't be doing myself a justice if I didn't say I did it. But according to the Federal Trade Commission, there's about 40 million mistakes on everybody in America's credit reported every day. 40 million errors. And the areas and the errors range from misspelling of your name, wrong address, typos, credit that things that should have fell off and they didn't. Sometimes whenever you go to apply for credit, and it doesn't, and you don't get the credit, that shouldn't be on your credit. I don't even know if y'all know that. So for example, let's say if I go to Best Buy and I try to get a Best Buy business card or Best Buy card, and they said, yo, Mr. Richard, your credit sucks. You can't get the credit. Well, damn, that sucks. Boop. Hard inquiry on your credit. You shouldn't have a hard inquiry on your credit for credit that you did not receive. So stuff like that can be identified by a credit repair team or yourself. You need to be constantly checking your credit, right? At least once a month, right? You don't need a credit monitoring service or nothing like that, but you should at least check your credit at least once a month. You should at least have the free apps. First of all, Credit Karma, Experian app, they're free. Get those two apps for free and be checking your credit. And a lot of people say, well, Credit Karma doesn't, Credit Karma scores wrong, or all these things on these apps are wrong. First of all, you got to understand, when you have Credit Karma objective, how they make money, because the app is free. How Credit Karma makes money is they push your score higher than actually what it is to tell you that you qualify for credit cards, right? Say if you had a true 640, you'll get a message maybe once every month and say something like, wow, your score has improved. Check it out. And instead of that 640 you thought you had, they'll say you have like a 660. I mean, if you don't believe me, as soon as I get off here, check it, right? The score will be 10, 15, 20 points higher than it's supposed to be. And then as soon as you walk, or whenever you get that message, you click on the message, wow, your score went up. You click on, check out your score. You click on the score. First thing after that, or right under it, wow, your score went up 20 points. You qualify for a credit card. You click on that shit. Wow, I got an introductory rate for 3 months for 0% interest. Hell, $600, I can use that. I'll just pay it for 3 months and then I'll get rid of it. Said every person ever. And then they got your ass, right? They get a little cut of whatever, they get a kickback. And that's how Credit Karma makes their money, right? Same thing with Experian. Experian sells you a credit monitoring service. You sign up for the free app. Whoa, there's something on your credit. Did you authorize this? And it'd be something stupid. It'd be the stupidest thing. It'd be like, yo, man, I just deposited my check. Why the hell you telling me this, right? And then they'll say, oh man, just checking. You should make sure, you don't want no hiccup, because if something was to happen, are you protected? Man, I guess not. We have a credit monitoring service for $8 a month or whatever the fuck it is. And that's how they make their money, right? Their scores are more accurate, but Credit Karma updates extremely fast. So Credit Karma scores suck, but Experian score is more accurate to me. But the things on Experian app doesn't update as fast as Credit Karma. You go get a hard inquiry, go apply for a credit card and check your Credit Karma app within 24 hours. That should be on there. Hell, damn near within an hour. They're fast, but the scores aren't accurate. You're like, man, why my score, and every time, man, my score, this is either better or worse than I thought. Don't look at the scores. Look at what's on there. Look at the profile. Look at the hard inquiries. Look at the credit utilization. Look at the that income ratio. Look at all that type of stuff, like the derogatory remarks. Look at that stuff. That's what it's for, right? You're not in there getting credit cards, and you're not in there giving a fuck what your score is. That's not what it's for. Your objective is with Credit Karma is to review your stuff to make sure that your shit's strong. So whenever you do go apply for credit, you don't even have to look at Credit Karma. You already know. You think I check my Credit Karma before I apply for a business or a grant or loans or any of that other shit? Yo, I'm gonna go buy a investment property. Let me check my Credit Karma. Hell no. I already know it. I already know that I check every month, which y'all should be doing. And that's just general maintenance that everybody should be doing on their credit. But I hope you learned something about credit. I hope you learned the ins and outs of credit. And I hope you found value in this video. If you want to ask me more questions, just reach out to me or reach out to my team. And if you need some help with your credit, just click. I could probably have a link in the bio or just shoot me a message and we kind of go from there. Hope you found value in this. Thank you. Zane.